Hello, I'm Alexis Martin. My partner is Mason Melhoff. This is my propositional final speech on gun control, which is over my persuasive essay. So, as a high school student in a public high school, it seems difficult to stand up for what you believe in. Advocating in high school may look impossible to some high school students, but I can assure you it is not. Coming up with an action plan, going through with it, and advocating for what you believe in will really make a difference. In today's essay, I will be covering what the action plan is, how we can do something about it as United States citizens and high school students, and how our lives would genuinely be affected in a positive way. For gun control, the action plan may be a little bit difficult for some people. Although people do have the right and many have the capability to own or use firearms. The issue is now becoming people are using firearms as a weapon to hurt other people and not for protection or for fun. Each year in the United States, 100,000 people are shot with firearms, and a third of them will end up dying. Source 1. Ultimately, providing a more thorough background check, putting safety over everything, and not allowing the illegal flow of guns will stop the gun violence. And 97% of Americans will agree with me. 97% of Americans believe that we should give out more thorough background checks. Source 2. Stopping the illegal flow of guns will ultimately prevent illegal weapons from being used to harm other people. – 90% of guns used in crimes, about only 5 of them, though, come from gun dealers. Source 2. The biggest issue, in my opinion, is the lack of advocacy for what people believe in. Advocacy for what you believe in is, other than using social media, it truly doesn't exist anymore. There are not nearly as many marches or rallies as there are people arguing over which side is right on Facebook. There are about 1 billion people who use Facebook every day. Source 3. Let's think about this. If 1 billion people use Facebook every day, imagine if those people started a rally or went to a march for gun control or any other topic that they believed in. I'm not saying our problems would be solved, but the issue of advocacy wouldn't even be a substantial issue. We need to start electing politicians who genuinely stand up for what we believe in. Now, as a high school student, I understand that may be difficult for some people, but the restriction on the age for voting should not affect how you advocate for yourself. Personally, as a high school student, I will tell people what I believe in, and I will advocate how I advocate through clubs and school groups. I even go out of my way to join Facebook groups and to be able to post things on social media that I genuinely care about. The politicians of today in the United States will not stand up for what you believe in unless you tell them to. You see, the people of the United States vote for these people. We elect these people, not the high school students, we're underage, but the future generations will have to understand how that will all work. Therefore, electing future politicians who we genuinely believe will fight for us, especially in gun control, is important to the action plan. It isn't impossible to stand up and advocate, no matter your age. You need to advocate, and I will promise you things will be done about it. Without gun control, the world seems to be chaotic when it comes to gun violence. Gun violence is a leading problem in America. This issue slowly becomes a reputation not the people. Reputations speak louder than the actions, and that is starting to upset me. Imagine this. There's never any violence and the world is always peaceful and still. Wouldn't that be nice? No internal conflict or wars. No one arguing over who was right on Facebook. Yes, it would be nice, but that is not a reality, and I cannot promise you that. What I can promise you is that without gun violence, the world would be safer and a much more comfortable place to live in. Creating a positive persona will ultimately make gun control seem better and look better and become better to those people who don't believe gun control is a good idea. Now, establishing values and beliefs that are important to you as a human being, even starting at a young age, is a good thing. But changing those values the older you get, with the way the world works and the way the world changes, will ultimately make you a more well-versed human being. Creating an action plan for gun control may be difficult, but what truly matters is the advocacy and how the world can change. It's not only within the United States that gun violence is taking place. It's worldwide. Now, advocacy is already starting to spread, but focusing on one area and becoming successful will ultimately please way more people. Putting this action plan into true action will please millions of people, and the advocacy issue will be solved, I promise you. As a high school student, you too can advocate for what you believe in no matter where you're from, and that is your power, so please use it.